It's the Infectious Groove Podcast, recorded at the 33 and 3rd Music Appreciation Center in Speakeasy, just outside of Detroit, Michigan. The Infectious Groove Podcast is your source for jammy jams, music news, and the best in-depth music discussion. Now here's your host.
Can you believe that it's episode 20?
No.
Of the Infectious Groove Podcast?
10 times 2.
Yeah, it is. That's good. Now, if I had 5, how many would that be?
4.
That's right, Michelle.
I can math.
So, wait, hold on a minute. You guys know numbers and you're just not using them right for the tournament?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. So, we have had a packed couple of days, which has been sweet. It's like one of those things where I keep saying this is a labor of love, and like the last 3 days have felt like, oh, we got to do this for
a
the
lot
show.
of love.
Yeah. Yes, it's felt like a whole lot of love for the past couple of days, but it's been rewarding too, though. You know, like in this episode, we're going to talk about how music can affect your mood, and later we have an interview lined up with Zac Malloy, the lead singer and guitar player for the Nixons, and we went into that interview super prepared, and then technology totally got in our way, but then he was a total sweetheart, you know, and really cool, and we will share that with everybody later. So we've got the usuals lined up at the beginning. Going to talk about some music news, talk about our jammy jams, of course. And then we've got some really cool news to share later on after that interview as well. So let's go ahead and move things along.
Music news.
What's going on, Kyle?
Not a ton of stuff as of late because of the lack of things that are going on. But sad news, Bob Kulick passed away.
Yeah.
If you know who that is, then you know how important that is.
I would say if you don't know the name, if you like almost any song from the rock song from the late 70s and the 80s and even the early 90s, then you miss Bob Kulick. You know, his brother Bruce was kind of the face of Kiss, but Bob did a lot of behind the scenes for them and everything. And he was also 70. So again, this goes back to what we talked about with Little Richard. You know, it wasn't a premature or anything. So.
And I mean, if you're curious as to what he did or what he had his hand in, just Google it.
Yeah,
and, you can.
You'll be surprised. I told you this off air, but like a friend of mine the other day, I said, man, Bob Kulick did so much stuff that most people don't know about. And my friend's instant reply was, well, did you know he plays guitar on Triple H's theme? And I was like, I did not know that. You know, like that's just another thing Bob Kulick did. So another soldier fallen. So rest in peace, Bob. What else is going on?
Super exciting news. Journey announced that they had some new members added to the crew.
I have a question. Who cares? And I don't mean
not
that.
Not me.
I just am sick and tired of these legacy acts doing that. You know, like every time you turn around, we got, you know, and it's almost not worth the Google search, but you know, of course, it's these guys were trying to take the name from those guys, and so now they got to go, and these other guys are coming. And who cares? You know, like I just don't.
At this point in Journey being a band, I don't see how it's important how if they're adding new members or who left or who added.
There's little things about bands that, like, there's no better term, nerds like me care about. Like, I truly love Steve Smith as a drummer. Like, I would never go to see Journey. For me, Steve Smith matters as much as Steve Perry's vocals do in Journey. And I'm the same way with Skid Row. If Skid Row got back together with Sebastian Bach, but they didn't have Rob Affuso on drums, like, I'm not going. But I realized that 90% of the public just wants, you know, the voice or whatever. But that was my thing, was like, I was already lukewarm to Journey as it was, with zero respect to Arnel Pineda.
Right.
You know, I mean, disrespect rather. He's fantastic. Yeah. But now that Steve Smith's gone, all right, we're done here. You know, that's before you worry about Randy. That's a no for me, dog. Jackson coming back. That is a no for me, dog. So, and we did hear some other exciting news.
Yeah, so we are all at this point just itching to go to
anywhere.
Anywhere, but specifically to a concert, a live show, which there are none of now.
Yep.
Well, we thought there were none.
Or so we thought.
Yes. There are live things happening. They're just few and far between.
Yep.
And
that's another teaser in a way for the Nixons interview.
Yeah.
Later, because the dude literally blew all three of our minds right in the middle of the interview.
There are establishments in states that are open currently that are inviting bands to come play there, and they're doing it with all the proper PPE, social distancing and stuff going on. And
it's crazy. I'm excited. Hey, you guys all hear the details here in a little bit. Plus, we'll tell you where to watch it, because I was stunned.
Yeah.
Stunned. Yeah.
Mind blown.
So a little bit of music news for everybody. We'll scoot things right along. Our jammies. For me, this week, this will come as zero surprise to both of you, but, one, I've been listening to the Nixons EP a lot. I really like the record, and we'll touch on that more, but I've been listening to that a lot, and then I can see it from here. I have like a solid 6 or 7 LPs of Prince over there.
I was going to say Prince.
Yeah, so the Rainbow Children and the One Night Alone reissues came out on vinyl, and I've been waiting to buy the Rainbow Children for like 10 years. So it's just, and if anybody ever wondered what Prince brought to the table in a live setting, there's like a billion Prince bootlegs out there. You can just go on Spotify and look this One Night Alone up, and I don't know, 3 or 4 songs in, you'll be like, oh, that's what he did. You know, like, you'll totally get it. So, I'm so anxious right now. I see Michelle going through her phone, gathering the jammy jams, because as we learned recently, it's not a matter of if she's got jammy jams.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got, brother, let me tell you, she's
so
got
many
jams.
jams.
Yeah, and I'm not stalling or anything right now. Michelle, could you share with us your jammy jams?
Well, the entirety of my week has been taken up with Rumors and Purple Rain back to back on repeat, quite literally all week, mixed in with the Nixons new EP that I was listening to get ready for the interview, to check it out, to see what it was all about. The Nixons, I know Sister, but that was it for me, so I was checking them out a lot. Other than that, Parker Millsap re-recorded, I think.
Well, I just played that song last night on my live stream.
So good.
That whole record is, I think it's his third, Fine Line.
Yeah.
Holy, and then the record starts off so monstrous, and then it goes into the song you're going to talk about, Your Water. Your Water.
He re-recorded it with Sarah, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, Jarosz. Jarosz, and he made it into kind of a duet, and I've been listening to that on repeat. Literally, when I found it, I listened to it 4 times in a row. Yeah. I was like, one more, and I haven't done that with a song in like at least a couple months.
That's one of those songs that it's so good that when you were like, oh, this cover's fire, I was like, I'll be the judge of that. You know what I mean?
Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
it's fantastic,
yeah.
And it helps that he's involved. It's not just someone else covering it so quickly.
Yeah, but I do like the way they kind of did it as a duet a little bit, so that I did like that, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
so that was.
I love that. I literally last night I busted out that album and I played Fine Line, and because that's one of those records I can just listen to straight through constantly.
Oh, absolutely.
And I put it on. Fine Line happened, and then Your Love started, and I was like, or Your Water rather, Your Water, and I was like, oh yeah, that song's right here on this record, you know, the original version. So sweet, that's cool. What have you been listening to, Kyle?
A lot of, like both of you, most of what I listened to this week was research based. So I mean, I re-listened to Rumors a couple times, re-listened to Purple Rain a couple times, and then Nixon stuff just to be prepared for what was going on. A little rumor that the guy that spells his name RMR, I was talking about before, he put out a new single too. I don't recall.
Didn't he just put out a full new record recently? You told us,
was
he still working?
Record?
No, there is no record.
Oh, he's the guy that I think I made GNR jokes like he's been working on it forever. Or
no, that was
just kidding.
Frank Ocean.
Oh, no.
He put out a new single. But Rumor put out a new single that I can't remember the name of, but I did listen to that as well.
I'm sure it'll be the first thing that comes up if somebody looks for it.
How's your fever?
How's the beaver fever?
There wasn't a lot of beaver fever going on.
Good.
I think I recovered.
Good.
Well, I told you guys earlier today, and I guess I can share this with our listeners, but I personally was diagnosed with ants in the pants. So
it's a sad situation. I have
it's
one
almost
person
like a
that I live
daycare.
with that has beaver fever, and the other person that I deal with all the time that has ants in the pants. So I'm bound to get both.
Yeah, well, it's like a daycare. You know, like these things are just going to
keep passing them back and forth.
Yep. All right, cool. We kind of busted through those quickly, but that's because we've got a whole lot to discuss. And
oh, boy.
We've got that interview. So without further ado,
it's time for the Infectious Groove Podcast. Main topic of discussion.
And we haven't gotten in trouble for any of those sound bites yet. So
Score.
Going on episode number 2 and no problem. So I'm pretty excited. So we are talking about music's effect on your mood. So what I wanted to do was kind of start this at the low point and go up from there. Like discuss songs that make you just flat out sad. Whether the song itself is sad or you have a memory attached to it, you know, that makes it sad. And then talk about songs that make you mad. You know, like, and Michelle asked yesterday a clarifying question, like, is it songs that like you don't like that make you mad, and it can be anything really. Like for me, there's certain songs that when I hear them, I get mad for the artist, like what happened to them, or you know that caused them to write the song, or situations I think of, or whatever. Then we're going to go into songs that pump you up, motivational songs, that Rocky theme, you know, lose yourself type songs. Then we are going to get into songs that just flat out make you happy. whether no matter what kind of mood you're in and you hear it, you know, and again, could be a memory thing, you know, somebody's passed and you hear the song and it makes you think of them and it makes you happy or whatever,
Right.
you know. And then, of course, we have that interview with Zac Malloy to round things out. So we are going to jump right into it. For songs that make you sad, I almost went with like almost all of mine are songs that make me sad for the writer, like the perspective of the person who's in the song. Like one of the first one on my list is Last Request by Paolo Nutini.
It's a jam, but it's a sad one.
It's a jam, but holy cow. If you put any thought into those lyrics while you're listening to that song, you're just like, people will be like, you okay? I need a minute. You know? Do you guys have any like that for you that like you think of from that perspective or no?
Like from the lyrics wise, like they don't touch me, like I don't see that way.
Yeah, that type of thing. And it's okay if not. I was just wondering.
Not really.
Well, what do you got on your sad list then?
The Night We Met by Lord Huron.
Oh, holy cow.
God damn, yeah. Oh, wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that was like the number one that came
To quote High Fidelity, that's so good it should have been mine.
There's a sad music video to go along with that, too.
That song, you just go through this journey and it's just it's very sad.
13 Reasons Why made very good use of that song as well. That's
I forgot that was in
that's
there.
the first time I heard that song was in that show.
You know he's from here?
No,
Michigan?
I didn't know that.
That's where he gets his name from.
Please tell me he's from Port Huron.
I don't know, but he does get his name from
Well,
the lake. So.
I hope that it's from Port Huron. What do you got for your sad song?
Oh, God. Brick by Ben Folds.
Oh,
Jesus
such a good
Christ.
one.
I feel like as these are coming out of our mouths, I'm like, this episode was a bad idea.
I need a minute.
Yeah.
So then there's,
and without spoiling it, a lot of people don't know.
I didn't know
what
for the longest
Brick's
time
about.
what it was about, and then when I learned what it was about, and then I re-listened to it, I was like, "Oh God, this is awful."
I don't have it on my list, but Possession is like that by Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was going to put say Angel too.
Angel's on my list, but only because it's
Sarah? Because of pets.
Because of
Yeah,
pets.
yeah, I
Literally,
just think about,
those
like,
commercials
abused-
ruined my life.
Abused cats and dogs.
Knock it off, Sarah.
Yeah.
I will give you money to not play those commercials. Who do I have to talk to for that to happen? I don't even have cable anymore, but like, let's stop that.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of what I have down are more albums, not just single songs. But the sad things are just single songs that make me sad. The other things that I can that pump me up or make me happy are more album based. Like I listen to like a whole album's worth of stuff, and it evokes that emotion.
I have two in a row that are both titled "Stay" by very different artists. There's a song by U2 called "Stay Far Away, So Close." That it's about being lonely, but just the tone of the song and everything. Like as soon as that song comes on, I'm like, oh, you know. And it has one of my favorite Bono lyrics of all time, which is "Vampire or a victim, it depends on who's around." Holy cow! Like every time that lyric happens, I'm like out loud. I go ahead, Bono. Every single time. And then the other one that's called "Stay" is "Stay" by Sugarland. As soon as that,
Didn't you just put that on the playlist? So
yeah.
I was going through our playlist, which we haven't touched in a long time, but I was like, oh shit, new stuff.
What
and I was
a
like,
sad song.
Yeah.
Like, and sad on all parts, no matter what way you view that song from, because there are some people that view it from the perspective of the wife, and there are some people who view it from the perspective of the mistress. No matter what, that's super sad.
Yeah.
I just, whew.
We just talk about the saddest song?
We'll get there.
Oh,
I have. I already know I win that, so
Yep. Yeah, you did.
But
I also ruined Kyle's life with that, and he was like, "I got the saddest song ever," and I was like, "No."
We'll get there. We'll get there. One that's for me personally that I feel, or not so much anymore, but for years I had feelings the same as the songwriters. There's a Jack White song called "Alone in My Home" that's about constantly worrying about the motivation of your friends, like how and why they're around you, and now when I hear it, it's just a song to me. But for the longest time, it's a very upbeat, happy sounding song. It's almost like a honky tonk piano type thing. And it used to be as soon as that song come on, you should clear the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else you got on your set list?
So there is.
Well, I got one.
Okay, go for it.
Two Ghosts by Harry Styles is like one of those songs that first time I heard it, I was like, he's talking to me.
That's is it where's Ships?
No, it's about a couple who's grown apart. Just like been together for a long time, and
Yeah, that is a sad song.
it is because it's just like we're the same people, but we're not in the same relationship.
And I
sort
love
of
it when
thing.
people that are that young write stuff that deep.
Yeah.
When I was young, I used to be like, you're 20. What do you know about that? that, you know, but like now I'm like, all right, go ahead. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, we're two ghosts in a same.
Yeah. Okay. That's what
yeah.
I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So
The very first time you played that song
Yeah.
for me, I literally teared up in front of you and said, don't do that again.
yeah, you made me take it off the playlist.
I did. Absolutely. Made her take it off the playlist.
Yeah.
There is a song that Amy Lee does outside of Evanescence.
Sure.
And it's called You. And for the longest time, there was like all this controversial stuff about how it's just her and a piano, and it just sounds really rough, like she just recorded it at home or something.
Sure.
And it got out, and she didn't want it to get out, and it just spread like wildfire over the internet. And she was making websites take it down and like all this stuff. And it may have ended up on one of as a bonus song on one of their albums, or
Sure.
I don't know. But it is
My Immortal's another one.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a
that's-
sad
Yeah.
song. Believe it or not, I have a rap song on here, and it's because, well, the first time that I heard the very end of this song, I said the same thing the songwriter does in the song, and I literally turned it off and sat there for 5 minutes in silence thinking about literally the very first time that I ever heard the song. And second of all, everything about the subject makes me so, for lack of a better word, just sad. Like I just become overcome with sadness when I really think about the song "Stan" by Eminem.
Oh yeah.
And the very first time I heard that, and I'm not kidding, I was driving in my truck from Waterford to Grand Blanc, and I had that. It was my first listen through the record. And when he says at the end about come to think about it, his name was you. Damn, I literally like shut the album off and was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
and
that's
just
deep.
Yeah, and that, I mean, everything about that, it speaks to mental illness.
Yeah.
You know, in those same feelings that I had dealt with before about like wanting to know, you know, wanting to be included in that type of stuff. And so that song, every time I hear it, and I know it's produced that way, but as soon as like that Dido song in the first place, it's a sad sounding song,
yep.
and then it's got the rain over it. It's like as soon as that starts, I feel like Joey on Friends watching the rain in the hotel room. And then I'll just go ahead and kick off the two saddest songs I've ever heard in my life, and both of them can make me weep almost instantly. Is Sometimes It Snows in April by Prince. Mm-hmm. And for anybody who doesn't know that song, it's the last song on the Parade album, and the basic message of the song is life doesn't always go the way we want it to. Sometimes it snows in April. And it was already a very sad song as it was, and then Prince passed in April, and then it snowed in April, and it took me a solid 6 months after he passed to where I could finally even push play on that song. So, and it was already a sad song. And then I submit that the saddest song in the history of all of mankind, and no surprise here, it's a country song. And a lot of people probably don't even know this song, but there is a song called Alyssa Lies by
God damn it,
Jason
man.
Michael Carroll. And I don't even want to spoil it
No,
for the
just go
listeners.
listen to it.
Listen to this song, and, you know, again, typical of country music, when you get to the third verse is when it becomes super important. So pay attention to the first two, but really stop what you're doing.
Grab a roll of toilet paper or a box of tissues, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to need to dip into the back stock of tissues that you have from because
Be in the right mental state.
I'm not wrong, right? That's the saddest song in the history of the world.
Yeah, Michelle ruined my musical life.
It's
when she
already
introduced
sad.
me to that.
It's already sad going into that third verse,
Yeah.
and then the third verse happens, and you're like, "This is the worst thing that's ever
I
happened."
thought Brick was a sad song until she was like, no, here, listen to this. And I was like,
I remember her texting me,
Yeah.
and she's like, "So Kyle and I had a sad song off." This would have been like a year ago now, and I was like, "Did you play the card?" And she's like, "Oh, I did."
I win.
She's like, "Yeah." He was like, "No, I know the saddest song ever." And then I played Alyssa Lies, and I was like, "What's happening now?" And she was like, "I think he's crying." So it is.
It's
very
quiet time here now.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other sad songs, or we can move on to stuff that makes you mad?
I just have two bands in general that I think I go to. Dashboard, which is just, it's just more nostalgia for me, like my angsty, you know, boyfriend breakups sort of thing. It's not anything deep, but it definitely. I used to work with somebody.
There's probably so many people listening. They're like, I can't believe they didn't say My Chem. That doesn't make me sad.
No, it doesn't make me sad. But put a pin in that. That for me is mostly just, I have friends that would just listen to that when they were going through breakups, and it's just
Right.
I just think of it as sad in general.
Side note, and I'm going to get into this later. We're going to have one hell of a playlist this week. This show.
Yeah.
People are going to be on an emotional roller coaster.
yeah, literally the whole time.
Should I put them in order of, so you start off sad and go to happy?
Yeah, go to happy.
And then Snow Patrol for me is another
Snow
one.
Patrol makes me sad for different reasons than they make me sad.
I feel like yours are not music or lyrically related.
I often use the phrase, I was forced to go see them live when I discuss them with other people. I don't want to name names, but somebody here is the reason why I was forced to go see them live.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I just wish Snow Patrol would find more time in their songs to say the same thing over and over.
They want to make sure you really get it. You heard it, but did you really hear it?
Yeah, you didn't hear it.
Yeah. That was just the two bands that I had on my list.
Gotcha. Sliding over to the ones that make you mad, and again, there's songs that make me mad for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know,
I got a couple on deck.
The one that I have first on my list, I don't even know why it makes me mad because I don't even know what the song's about. And you guys know I'm the guy that I'm always like, do you know what that song's about?
Yeah.
I've just never looked into what it's about. But for some, it's the guitar tone, the aggression of the song is Lakini's Juice by Live. As soon as that song, I will play it for you. As soon as that song starts, I'm like, all right, we need to beat something up. Let's all go together.
So you don't hate the song, but you want to rage
out.
No,
I don't. None of the songs on my mad list.
No,
the only
song is great, but it does make you want to sucker punch somebody.
As soon as we're done, I have the 10-inch single. I don't have any songs on here that make me mad in as much as I hate them. The only song in English that I can think of that I truly hate, and I hope I never hear in my whole life ever again, is Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams. I just don't.
Really?
It's just, and I like Bryan Adams. That's not my cut. All for Love, Cuts Like a Knife. This time, I'm right there. I got you. Canadian's Finest. I got you. But Summer of '69. As soon as I hear that snare before the guitar even comes in, I'm like, turn it. As soon as that snare happens. What do you got for mad songs, Kyle?
So there's a lot of stuff I listen to when I'm mad. So
I imagine you like what's her name from what is the show we're watching?
Oh,
Dead to Me?
Dead to Me, yeah.
Yeah, when
they
she's in
put
her
on
car,
the heavy metal in the car,
she's
yeah.
just raging out.
That is me when I get mad, absolutely. And I actually was going to go and Google and find out what they were listening to in that show because I wanted to listen to it.
Yeah. That's a fun show.
So when I get mad, I listen to Slipknot, their first album, specifically. Marilyn Manson.
So you're already in a bad mood and you're like, all right, F it.
Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, Rage Against the Machine, anything that's political based, it's rise up and fuck them all.
I only have one political one on my list, but Rage, you hit the nail on the head. Let me just say this: we don't do a lot of political commentary on the show, but who amongst us hasn't listened to a lot of Rage with everything going on this week?
And then so there's Michael Jackson. They don't care about us. That makes me angry. The way it's supposed to when you hear it, it's supposed to make you mad.
Yep.
And there's other songs that make me mad because I'm having to hear them.
Summer of '69 disease.
Yes. One of those is "Happy" by Pharrell.
Yeah, you told us.
Yep, and then the other one, the two specifically that come to mind is that one, and then "All About That Bass" by Meghan Trainor.
Oh, we've gone over this.
Yes, I
don't want to name names, but somebody once left a group chat because she was
that
so
song
mad.
Is on my happy list.
I don't even have a reason why. It just drives me nuts.
The day that I heard that song the first time, we were on a road trip, and I heard it 125 times.
We made a playlist of that and Bang Bang, and
that was it.
That was it, over and over for the entire weekend.
And I never got bored of the song the whole time. I don't know why.
And the Pharrell song is supposed to make you happy. It's about, and it's in a kids
that
movie.
song is just there for me. When it was an enormous hit, I was I wasn't mad at it, but I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why is this such an enormous hit? What do you got for mad songs?
Well, I also have Rage to the point where I have coworkers who know that if they come into my office and I'm listening to Rage Against the Machine, they just turn around and leave.
And I don't want to offend our listeners, but skedaddle.
Yeah,
they should skedaddle.
Speaking of being at work, do you remember when wouldn't be able to find me at work, and you just hear angry music coming from somewhere, and you'd be like, "What's wrong?"
I'm just kidding. I do.
What else you got besides Rage?
Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. I don't know why.
I do. That's
the intended consequence of that.
Oh yeah, that's if I'm real mad. But then mostly the only song I can come up with off the top of my head, besides anything the Red Hot Chili Peppers have ever done, they just make me mad.
And I get that.
Is "Strokin'" by Clarence Carter.
And that upsets me so much.
I know.
I was like, why? Why do you hate this song so much?
I don't know. It's "Strokin'."
but and maybe you don't know this.
Don't get it.
Do you know that when he starts making love, he just doesn't start making love. He be stroking. That's what he be doing. That's going on the playlist for sure this week. For me, the entirety of Michael Jackson's I call it his story. The second LP, most people think of that as a greatest hits album. It is absolutely not. It's half greatest hits album and half his story. And almost the whole record. Scream, They Don't Care About Us, Tabloid Junkie, DS.
What the hell is what is that? The Rainforest song?
Earth Song.
Yeah,
Earth Song, Childhood, and his cover of Smile are like the only songs on there that are in Childhood. I should have had that on my sad list.
Yeah.
If you want to feel bad for things that went on in an artist's life, listen to Michael Jackson sing Childhood on History. It's sad, equally as sad as Sometimes It Snows in April. But, Tabloid Junkie, Money, DS, all of those songs are just Michael Jackson being like, y'all don't know what's going on, and him standing up for himself. And it makes me angry on his behalf.
Yeah.
And with that record, I will say that there are times where I listen to it and it slides into motivational territory where I'll be like, look, like if I'm going through something bad, I've never gone through anything near as bad as that guy did, and he was still able to stand up and say, here I am.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's motivational, and then sometimes I think, damn it, this shouldn't have happened to this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that whole thing, for me, falls into the mad category. And whenever the subject of Pink Floyd and Roger Waters comes up, I always have to pre-apologize and say I'm going to try and keep this short. For me, one of the songs in the world that makes me the most mad is the title cut from Roger Waters' 1992 masterpiece, Amused to Death. The entire record is about how society as a whole is like quickly devolving, and this stuff came out in 1992. And the title track is an idea taken from a book, and it's about eventually we'll all blow each other up, and the explosion is what will finally cause intelligent life across the universe to be like, hey, what's going on over there? And when they get here, all they're going to find is everybody, like the ashes of everybody in front of their computers or their smartphones or their TVs. Well, he didn't say smartphone, but because it was 92.
Yeah, that's what it's leading up to.
And the aliens will get here, and the story of all of the human race will be this species amused itself to death. Like everything good that in that song makes me physically angry because it was relevant in 92, and it's more relevant somehow now than it was then. And I'll tell you, and I love that album, but almost every time it comes, the second to last track, it's called It's a Miracle. And when It's a Miracle fades away and you start to hear the start of Amused to Death, it's one of those things where I'm like, you guys should skedaddle. You just might want to mosey. You might want to hit the road. And then for motivational songs, I think this is one that could go on forever. There's so many songs that you hear and it pumps you up. I only have a couple on here, and they're probably, I don't know, unorthodox, I guess is a word. But
how can they be unorthodox?
Like the ones that most people wouldn't think of, like, or have heard and would be like, how is he motivated by that? But what do you got for motivational, Kyle?
I would say one of my number one motivational songs is Waka Flaka Flame, Hard in the Paint. If I'm trying to go to the gym, put that on, I can run a marathon.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to punch shit and jog and
in a good way.
Jump. Yeah.
It's not the mad way.
Yeah, yeah. And I do also listen to a lot of heavy metal when I'm doing like working out or trying to get motivated. Slipknot, for the same reasons they make me angry, they motivate me to do things. So it's like Slipknot, Five Finger Death Punch. Will just get me going.
So late era metal.
Yeah.
Well, the first one on my list is not even close to metal. Is and this is what I mean by unorthodox. Church of the Poison Mind by the Culture Club. It's got a very Motown feel to it. As soon as it starts, doom 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 doom. As soon as that song starts, I'm like, let's go build it now. Whatever, let's go to IKEA and put together everything.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but as soon as that song starts, I'm just like, yes, let's do something right now. So that's the first one on my list. What do you got, Michelle?
I went off of my running playlist as a starter.
Yeah.
Pretty much my running playlist consists of Motown, which just Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Superstition, just Motown in general. I can pick any Motown
that
playlist.
Opening drum break on Superstition.
Yeah,
if that don't motivate you, then get out of the game. You should just sit on the couch the rest of your life.
Yeah. Any Motown playlist that I find on Spotify, I can just put that on. Any one of them. And
we talked about this before. That was one of the things. Barry Gordy founded Motown for feel-good, upbeat, motivational music.
Yeah.
That's why, and I've been heavy on my mind, has been Marvin Gaye's What's Going On record, and that's why that was very controversial, because Barry Gordy wanted it to be upbeat, and Marvin Gaye was like, brother, it's not upbeat out there right now.
Yeah. It's not always upbeat.
Yeah. So, but anyways, go on.
And then My Chem is my motivational. I just feel like
really?
They're
teenagers will do it for me.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of other songs that aren't, but for the majority of them, my running playlist literally is Motown, My Chem, and Eminem.
Right on. So for Eminem was the second on my list, but not Lose Yourself.
No.
Till I Collapse.
Yeah.
From
I
Eminem
agree
show.
with just Eminem in general
Berserk.
as far as being motivating.
I know that Eminem's gone way faster on other songs.
Yeah.
For me, for rhyme schemes and song construction, I think Till I Collapse is the single best song he's ever written.
Yeah, it's a great song.
And then on top, like that enough would be enough for me to be like, damn, and get
Yeah.
going. But then on top of that, the message in the song.
Yeah.
You know, it's just awesome. And then the last one for me is, I think, a song no one has heard of but me. Do you remember the 90s band Silverchair?
Yeah.
Okay. So they had a much, much, much later era record come out called Young Modern. And the first song on it is a song called Straight Lines. And it's...
What do you mean no one's heard of but you? You played that for me all the time.
Yeah, okay. Would you have heard that song if it wasn't for me?
I don't know. You don't know? How do you know that? I could have had other friends that have.
Now we're going to have to do another Facebook poll and ask who's heard this. Heard this song. But that song just it's one of those. It just pumps right as it starts, and the whole thing of the song is like, I can do this. You know, and it just, as it goes, it builds harder and harder and harder, and by the end of the song, you're just like, same thing as what we were talking about before. It's just like, let's do this. Like, let's do what? I don't care. You know, like I don't even need to have a plan. Let's go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of wood and just see what happens. So, did you have any other motivational cuts?
No, there's a.
But
like
what
I
you said covers a lot too.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of Eminem too that I would just like. I can put on just an Eminem album and just go to town.
I like. I would say his first one for me doesn't do that because it's just so like all over the place and almost controversial, like in the content. But everything else that he's ever done, and then like I say, specifically Till I Collapse, I'm just like, that's my jam.
Yep.
You know. So we are going to take a quick break, and we've got so much cool stuff planned for the second half here, and we're going to come back and get into songs that make us happy. It's going to be good times, and then after that, we've got some other cool stuff planned. Stick with us. We're back, second half of episode 20 of the Infectious Groove podcast, talking about songs that have an effect on your mood. We're bringing you from the bottom of the valley to the top of the mountain here.
Woo!
So, yep, we started off with sad and mad and motivational songs, and now we're just playing on to songs that make you happy. I don't know why, but when I sat down and was like, what songs make me happy? The very first song that flew into my head was I'm Shaken by Jack White.
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't say by Jack White. It's a cover, but still off of his first solo record, Blunderbuss. That song, whew, as soon as
What's his hair like on that record?
It's fantastic. His hair, his hair is fantastic. That was really the start of the new hair era.
Okay.
Actually, the promotional footage for that is like when he started doing the pompadour type thing, which is the first time that you were like, so Jack White.
Tell me about your friend.
yeah. Does your friend like me? So, that was the first one that popped into my head. Like, when you thought of happy songs, what's some of the stuff that popped in your head?
Oh, Beat It by Michael Jackson. Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. A lot of Michael Jackson songs. Like, I would throw that shit on at work and be like,
I've been listening to Invincible a lot lately, which is the record after History, and the first song on that album is almost an extension of History. Like, it's him. It's called Unbreakable, and it's basically him being like, okay, so you tried.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. But the whole rest of the record, he goes back to the business of being Michael Jackson. And like,
The Way You Make Me Feel.
That
for the longest time, I haven't been able to do it yet this year, but for the longest time, the first day that it was nice and sunny and you could drive with your windows down, I would put that song on every year.
Side note, the video for that is outrageous when she walks by him.
Yeah.
Hey, you knock me off of my... And then he just lays down the law.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that song makes me walk with a purpose. Like that.
Yeah.
Doom, ba-boom,
There would be some occasions where I would walk into my old job and be happy to be there. Not very many, but there were some, and I would throw on. I found myself throwing on Michael Jackson, like to begin with, like on my playlist to just get through.
I will be walking through the grocery store, and The Way You Make Me Feel is on, and if I have a button-down shirt on, it's coming open, and I'm doing a kick out. We used to actually, friends of mine and I used to work in retail together, and there was this like little wind tunnel outside, like the way the building was shaped, there was always like wind blowing, and all of us, anytime we were out there smoking, somebody would inevitably kick their shirt open, like throw their hand up, There's one of my unorthodox ones is Fish has a song called You Enjoy Myself. It's like 18 minutes long or something, but as soon as it starts, I'm just like, well, I'm about to be happy for 18 minutes. One that's, I guess, very uneven. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be a happy song, but the tone of it, Wishing Well by Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Oh, so good.
As soon as that drum line starts, I'm just like, Plus, again, the music video for the era that I grew up in, that video has like, when it starts, it's all silent, and it's the backup band standing here, and there's a like a 50 style mic, and Terrence Trent D'Arby slides into frame and grabs the mic, and I'm just like, well, that's the coolest thing I've seen someone do today.
Yeah.
And then one more I'm going to mention real quick is, and this, Colin Baton Rouge.
Oh yeah.
Garth Brooks.
Man.
The studio version is one thing, the live version's a whole other.
Yeah.
I can't. If you put on the studio version of Colin Baton Rouge and I'm sitting with you, just know that when it gets to in the arms of a girl from, I'm going to go, where's the other?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm going to do that in your ear, whether we're in church or not. That's happening. So you look like you've got quite the list of happy songs.
I have so many.
Good, go.
I have so many.
Shoot.
Actually, I Love It by Econopop. And Charlie XCX. I have that on my motivational one, too.
Can I share a fun fact about that song?
Yeah.
I do not love it.
I do know that.
I second that.
Your wife does.
I am not all about that song.
No.
Your wife does, and that's okay. The Banana Boat song?
Oh, yeah. Dale.
I don't know why. It gets me every time.
It reminds me of that We Are the World footage I told you about where they because Harry Belafonte's there.
Yeah.
And there's outtake footage of gargantuan legends all doing the...
Oh, yeah, you were telling us about that.
It's
awesome. Tequila by the Champs.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't. You literally cannot sit still.
Because of the song and the drink?
Oh, both. Yeah. And Pee Wee Herman. All of those things.
They're endorsing something you believe in.
Yep. I just can't sit still for that. ILBTs by Joe Walsh. I just cannot.
What an idiot. If you guys haven't heard that song, believe it or not, and I don't know if you know this, do you know that song's not on streaming?
I did know that.
That album is on streaming.
Yeah,
and if
the song is not.
Yeah, and if you go to that album, it's just missing off of there. So go to YouTube or wherever and type. I promise this is worth the price of admission.
Especially if you're a fan of Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, Egg Benedict. Type in Joe Walsh ILBTs. You know what? Shout out to a friend of the show, Mike Barkell, for he played that song for me for the first time in my life. We were driving through Grand Rapids, Michigan. He played it, and about 30 seconds into the song, I texted it to you and said, "Listen to this.
Stop what you're doing and listen to this."
I got back a text that was about this big that was all capital HAHAHA. So do yourself a favor, go to YouTube, type in Joe Walsh ILBTs, and you will be. Oh, don't have the kids nearby.
Oh
yeah. Not
it's
kid
not
friendly.
a child friendly song.
It's I Like Big, and then that's why I don't have the kids around.
Yep.
So fun song, yes, very happy sounding. Again, like the Jack White cut, almost like a honky tonk piano to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have two more of note. You Make My Dreams Come True, Hall & Oates.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
even if that song was 30 seconds.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just the start. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And Take Your Mama by the Scissor Sisters.
That's my next one on my list.
Oh, no.
No, it's fine. That is one of the two happiest songs I've ever heard in my entire life.
And Your Love by the Outfield, which we had the privilege of seeing live.
Yeah, we only had to wait through 90 minutes of songs no one's ever heard before.
But that song, I don't know why. I literally don't know why, and it just came back into my life
it's very
like
upbeat.
2 or 3 years ago, but I cannot get sick of hearing that song.
Rick Beato, who we've talked about on the show before, has a series on YouTube called What Makes the Song Great, and he talks a lot about like things that are even over my head, like why this note is used and why that beat is used and whatever. I'm dying for him to do one on that song because it'll explain, like I'll be like, okay, watch this. This is why you love the song so much, But that Take Your Mama by the Scissor Sisters is one of two songs that I think are the happiest songs I've ever heard in my entire life. Yeah. It's just so in the subject matter. I mean, the song itself is super upbeat, right? But then the subject matter is literally like, let's just all go out and have a riot, not give a remote shit what anybody thinks.
Let's do it up.
Yeah, and that's one I'll tell you. I know we have listeners in 39 countries now. I was wrong last week when I said 14.
No, way wrong.
It's 39, and so Scissor Sisters are a worldwide act. But if you're listening to the show and you haven't heard this song, go to Spotify, and actually I'll go into it later. You'll find it on our playlist. But that song From the Word Go is just so happy.
Yep.
What else you got for happy songs, Kyle?
Oh man, this gets brought up a lot on the show, but like Carnivas by the Silver Sun Pickups, that entire album, and not because it's a happy album or anything. It just at the time in my life that I listened to that a lot. Like I can from track one to the very end, it transports me back into that exact time that I was like driving to work or like just doing all the stuff that I was doing at that time, and I just get sucked into it every time.
I guess I'll find out this week.
I have one song that actually made the transition from sad to happy, and it was sad because of the time and whatnot. Was The Wonder of You by Elvis was super sad for me for a long time because it reminded me of my mom passing away, and it's since transitioned to now I think of all the great things about her. Like every time that song comes on, I end up telling somebody some wild story that nobody would believe about that my mom actually did in real life.
Every time you say something about her, I was like, wow.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. and certified grade A badass that woman was. And so that song almost is the catalyst. Like, it's like when that song comes out, it's like, all right, well, here comes the story.
Right.
You know, so.
I also have an Elvis song, Blue Christmas.
Yeah.
That's not a happy song.
But it just reminds you of.
Yeah, like my mom used to play it every year when we were decorating the Christmas tree. Like, she'd have the Elvis cassette in the tape deck and just play. And oh my God,
It's the definition of over singing a song too.
it just transfers me back into that whole
for
time
sure.
that I like, man.
And a lot of Christmas music is that way.
Yeah.
I actually have lined up for the rest of the year. I want us to do episodes on, best songs for 4th of July, best songs for Christmas and whatnot. And I'm certain that Elvis record's going to get a lot of.
Christmas is going to be so fun.
Yeah, there's a ton of Christmas music that's good.
Like Christmas.
I know, I'm aware.
And I will say, up until recently, and this also comes up a lot on the show, is I was never a fan of Justin Bieber, but his new album.
Well, until you got
changes.
infected.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like he's used the same producers and songwriters and stuff on every album, but this just I don't even know what.
Hopefully, he's growing as an artist.
And people give him shit because a lot of it's about him and Haley's relationship and marriage and so on and so forth. But like I don't know, it just makes me goddamn happy.
That's good. For me, the number one song, and this is just barely edges out "Take Your Mama" because that's almost the happiest song I've ever heard. And I don't know, I don't think I've played the song for you, Kyle, and I'm pretty sure I've played it for you. There's an English band called Elbow. And they have a song called "One Day Like This" that is the happiest song in the history of the world. And it's actually it's just these lush orchestrations and beautiful melodies. And the song is actually about waking up hungover, but realizing how awesome your life is.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole song is just about like, holy crap, I love life. Yeah. Like that's.
I've been there.
There's actually a part in the song where he says, "Holy cow, I love your eyes." Like, like he actually says that. And yeah, just waking up and like I've had that day where I've woke up hungover and been like, man, I love that. Like, if you're thinking about last night or something that's coming up or whatever, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous song. Yeah. I actually have 2 versions of it, and one of them I have is recorded live in studio at Abbey Road with a full orchestra.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's so good. But
another one that does it for me is "Low Places" by Garth Brooks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I cannot. It gets so overplayed at family reunions and graduation parties and weddings and karaoke and everything, but god damn it, man, that instantly puts me in a great mood. Whether I'm sober or hammered or whatever, it doesn't even matter. I instantly transport into
and that's before you even worry about a live version. You put on a live version.
God, yeah.
Like, if you can't smile after hearing Friends in Low Places live, then I can't help you. I mean, and you would have because you were all fresh off a nap by the time you did Friends in Low Places. So
I was sobering up by then.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to segue us somewhat awkwardly from the main topic over to this interview that we had. Zac Malloy, who is the lead singer and guitar player of the Nixons, was very gracious with his time earlier this week and did an interview with us. And we're going to play that now. We actually got him to weigh in on this topic, which I thought was cool. And he instantly, all 3 of us were like, yes. Like, and just now, none of us mentioned who he talked about. But I will say that they have a song, the song that they're best known for is "Sister." And I don't know why, but I just always assumed that his sister passed away when I initially heard that, and that song instantly made me feel terrible for this person for like 15 years until I read somewhere online that no, his sister just moved away and they were both accomplishing their dreams, but he still missed her a lot and whatnot.
It turns out he was sad. It's just not for the same reason you thought he was sad.
Yeah, and so that song is switched now for me. Where like I still feel bad that he missed her, but like the fact that they were both accomplishing their dreams is awesome.
Yep.
Right.
So I'm going to slide us into that interview right now, and then right after that we've got a little bit of wrap up and some really, really cool things to share with everybody coming to the show. So check this out. We have with us right now Zac Malloy, who is from the Nixons. And Zac, we greatly appreciate, we had some connection issues, but we really appreciate your time and patience and hanging out with us today.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Right on. So this is the Nixons' first group of material in quite some time. You guys have done some singles here and there, but this, from what I can tell, is the first group of songs that you guys have put together since the latest thing came out in 2000. So why is now the right time for a Nixons EP?
Well, to be honest with you, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, will the Nixons ever get back together, I would have said no. I'm a songwriter in Nashville, and have really enjoyed making music in a different way. And then about 3 years ago, we all sort of just came back together, buried a few hatchets, and said, let's play a show. Again, even then, never not thinking we would get to here, which is, we wrote we've written 6 new songs, and we released, as you said, a few singles. But now the EP came out 1 week ago today, and I couldn't be happier. I'm thrilled that we're making music again together.
Yeah, right on.
I'm thrilled that we're even talking together.
Well, yeah, right on. I was really, really excited when we got the press release. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'll take all sorts of new music from the Nixons. And we actually have some friends that are songwriters down there in Nashville. And yeah, everything we hear is that it's super rewarding. Like it's definitely a great way to spend your time if you love being involved in and making music, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got to say I'm lucky. I mean, I've really telling someone the other day that, I've never actually had a job. I mean, I luckily got out of college and got into a rock band that got signed, and then very quickly got cut. As a songwriter, my first cut was songs with this band Bowling for Soup, who were just friends. So it wasn't even even then it wasn't like, oh, this could be a career. But I've managed to hang in there for a pretty good long while.
Right
That's
on.
awesome. Sonic Boom is a great collection of songs. I really enjoy it. Letters is a standout song for us. Is that a song a comment on our current social climate or social media in general?
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about that song is that the title is something I've had banging around in my head for years and years. Originally, imagining a song about that I was imagining and sort of never wrote it about my grandmother who died many years ago and suffered from Alzheimer's. So the Letters from the Outside World line has been with me a while. And then, you look around and you go, dear hate, what the hell are you doing to us? Dear lies. And then ultimately try for a little bit of redemption with, dear hope. And then just the thought that sometimes it feels like, but no one's ever going to hear this or pay attention to this.
Right on.
Yeah, and that was we talked about that just before we got a hold of you today. It was like I was telling Michelle my perception of the lyric was exactly that, like that faith and hope and love are gone, and there's only so much you can stand up for. That you have to wonder who's actually paying attention to the good messages that are out there.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's unfortunately, my mind can't help but go there sometimes. And this is going back to the old days. We had our major label debut is called FOMA, which is a word that Kurt Vonnegut invented in one of his novels, and it means lies. So then there's another song on this album called Favorite Lies. I was joking with my wife that you want a song about lying, come to Zac.
It's funny. Kyle actually has a good question about some of your older material here in a second, but when you said FOMA, it just reminded me, this is a total side note, but the common phrase now that people say for fear of missing out, FOMO, because I was so heavy into FOMA when it came out, and I had a friend's band that covered the title cut, so when I use that phrase FOMO, I almost always say FOMA on accident, and everybody's always like, did you mean FOMO? I'm like, yeah, FOMA is an album by the Nixons, never mind. So,
I love that. I love it that we're slipping in and out of your
vernacular. It happens. It happens.
Yeah, it's since we're talking about older material, and there's a new 2020 version of Sister out, how do you feel about the legacy of that song as a whole?
I mean, I'm super proud of it. It gave me a career. I mean, I remember being in my beat up old pickup, headed to Nixon's band practice. We had written songs for our first independent album, and kind of felt like something was missing. Sort of that the heartfelt song. We had plenty of songs, that screamed like FOMA,
yeah,
and a song called Blind. But yeah, I mean, it was, my sister had literally just moved away from Oklahoma, and it was just almost a postcard to her. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. We do all those, those cheesy nerd artist things that we do when we get on like, the portal that you can see what your numbers are for Spotify. Who streamed what age, what's the most streamed song. And it's kind of funny because Sister is obviously the most streamed song, and when we very first reunited, I remember activating that portal and it being at like 2.2 million, and it's almost 3.5 million now. And the cool thing is that we did go in and re-record Sister, Wire, and Baton Rouge, so we could own those. We could own the masters, because we get asked, can I use Sister in an independent film? Someone asked me a few years ago, for instance, and I basically had to say, you have to check with MCA Records, Universal Music, and then it just never happened. So now we're able to actually own that. And again, when I click on to see what our streams are like, it's funny because Sister, the original version, is the number one song, but now it's slowly, I think, number 12 or 13 most streamed song is Sister 2020. So
nice.
yes, it was an important song for us. I mean, it really was.
Right on. So the episode that you are going to be in this week, we talk about how music affects your mood. So I was just wondering what songs put you in a great mood, or if you have a song that puts you in a bad mood.
Well, the thing that immediately pops into my brain is that I can't think of a Foo Fighters song that doesn't put me in a good mood.
Yeah,
That's
a
call.
good point.
that's a good call. Well, not to be a bummer, but the last song on the Wasting Light album is called, or I'm sorry, the second to the last song is called I Should Have Known.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real sad Foo Fighters cut. But other than that's right off the top of my head. That's great.
You are right. Although in some ways, the drum beat for My Hero is puts a smile on my face. But then, when I think of what I think it's about, even if it's not about what I think it's about, that's a bummer too.
Right.
So yeah, I've talked myself out of the Foo Fighters. I'm sticking with that. And then I'll also just say that, as a songwriter, for me, when I hear a song that I perceive to be well crafted, that does something for me. There was a country song that came out a year and a half or so ago called "A Burning House," and it was nothing. It was just a guitar and a vocal and maybe a cello, but it was just a beautifully written song. I think of a couple Brandi Carlile songs, "The Joke," which every time she hits that hook, I'm like, oh damn, that's amazing. And
Brandi is
the story.
something else. She could sing the phone book though, and you would be moved.
That is true. I saw her at Bonnaroo, and she was amazing. But the truth is that in addition to being this crazy singer, her songwriting is just otherworldly to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would say that under any genre, from Jason Isbell to the Foo Fighters, a great song, man. That's gonna work for me.
Right on. So we do want to swing it back towards what's happening with the new record and what your plans are. So I know Kyle wanted to ask about like what you guys are going to do in the future.
Yeah. What do you guys have planned for promoting the new record? And obviously since everyone's shows and whatnot have been canceled for the year, or what are the plans?
Well, so unfortunately we had a pretty cool tour that we were just getting ready to announce that the plug got pulled. We're talking about a package tour with 3 other bands for 2021. We did play a show. Got a call from a venue in Dallas, the Lava Cantina, a week ago. A month and a half, 2 months ago, to play a show, and we did last Friday. It was in Dallas. Texas is open, 25% open. So they did bring in a crowd separated by these little pods with makeshift walls. It's still streamable. You can go check it out on our Facebook page.
Awesome.
Okay.
Facebook page. It's a full-on rock show, and I can't even believe that in this world we're in, we did one.
Yeah,
that's
In
crazy.
fact, a whole bunch of bands that I write with were like texting me and calling me saying, "How is this happening? What's
you're literally all 3 of us are looking at each other right now, like, okay, we're going to go see this.
I want to see it. Yeah.
We want to know.
Right.
Too.
I mean, it's confusing. When I was telling people, it was like, but what happened was that this company that does like all the video work for like Coachella and other big events, they're grounded, right? Because we all are. And so they partnered with this venue in Dallas. They're based in Dallas, and they said, let us bring in 6 cameras, a control room. We'll do these high budget live streams. So it live streamed. We get to keep the footage. So bonus.
Yeah,
And
no
then
kidding.
it was on the day of our release, and it's crazy. I look at the numbers, and it streamed across like 5 different platforms, and it reached a total of about 35,000 people. If we would have gone to do a CD release party, we would have played for 1,500 people.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer what's happening. I mean, a big bummer. We've had to cancel a bunch of shows. I do an event that I host back in Oklahoma called the Oklahoma Songwriters Festival that I bring in Nashville writers to Oklahoma. That was canceled or postponed, I should say. So, yeah, man, to get the chance to play a rock show, we couldn't sell merch. I wasn't high-fiving the front row, but you take what you can get. So, yeah,
Sure.
go check it out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Heck yeah, we will absolutely. We'll be sure to promote it on our social media as well. So I had planned to wrap things up here real quick, but you've been so cool with us in your time. I have a urgent question I have to ask you that revolves directly around our show. Now, we do these side bonus episodes that are tournament between albums, and we just had one come out last night where it ended up in a dead tie. So we're gonna take it to social media, but I want to get your opinion on this. If you had to pick between Fleetwood Mac Rumors and Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
See, that's what I said. And did you notice? No hesitation.
There's no hesitation whatsoever.
Right.
Well, I'm going to come clean and tell you that I do love that Fleetwood Mac album.
Sure, me too.
But and this will be maybe a little sacrilegious. They're not like one of my super favorites.
Sure.
But Prince is. So
Yeah.
I wonder what Prince album you would have said that wouldn't have outdone Rumors.
Ooh.
However great Rumors is, I'm a pretty big Prince fan. So no, but Purple Rain. Come on.
Well,
That's the
off the top
there.
of my head, I will tell you what I just said to Michelle during the episode last night was I wanted to enter Around the World in a Day into the tournament, but I didn't because I feel like Prince has a lot of records that are wildly misunderstood, and I think like Around the World in a Day and Parade fall under that. I don't think either. Like if you just put up a social media post, I don't think either of those records.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. No, you got to go with Purple Rain.
Yeah.
For the Prince pick, and then for the tournament, my vote goes that way too.
Right on. Sweet. So we have to document that. So I kid you not, I'm waiting on a text right now from the local record store to go pick up more Prince vinyl that's coming out today. So you and I are connecting on the Prince level, that's for sure.
Right on, man.
So, all right, right on, brother. We so much appreciate your time, and the audience won't hear this, but we had issues connecting, and we greatly appreciate your patience
Thank
and
you
everything,
so
man.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I enjoyed talking to you guys. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you helping get the word out about the EP.
Will do, man. All right, thanks a lot, brother.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. You too. See ya.
Bye.
So yeah, that was cool as hell.
So cool.
Yeah, Zac
Yeah.
Malloy from the Nixons, and as we promised, we would mention the new EP. The new EP is called Sonic Boom, and it's available on all the streaming sites and whatnot. And like we talked to him about, it's a real good record. I like it a lot.
Yep.
Real happy about it. What can I help you with?
Hit the great record.
Right, I hold.
Thank
Right.
you. Can I have my own set of buttons?
No.
Yeah. They'd be abused immediately.
So, but that, and then the other thing that
Damn
was
it.
a huge takeaway for me for the interview was the fact that we've all been sitting around waiting for the return of live concerts, and the Nixons done played a live show. They did stream it online, but this was at a venue with a crowd.
Yep.
And
They got invited to. They were asked to come there and play.
yeah.
So,
And what was the name of the venue again? You
The
told-
Lava Lounge.
Lava Lounge, and you can go right to the Nixons page. I'm sure this week we'll share the video on our page. I shared it on my own personal Facebook
I was like,
page.
I saw someone share it today.
Yeah, and that's just so rad. Like, and I went yesterday immediately and watched the video, and it's awesome. Like, it's
Yeah.
a full on
Yep.
rock show, and I love it. So, and we'll of course include that 2020 version of Sister with this week's playlist as well, which is fantastic. And I love when artists go into the reasons why those things happen.
Yeah.
Like, don't just re-record it for no reason. And the fact that he wanted it to be included in an independent film, and it was much easier to just re-record it and be able to give permission. I thought all of that was great stuff. So, hopefully everybody enjoyed that. So, as always about this time, I have a couple of things to mention that we want to do in like a sort of a housekeeping type way. Number one, we have a very important poll going on our Facebook page right now due to the latest bonus episode, which we asked Zac about, and you hear he's clearly in the Purple Rain camp. So you can go to our Facebook page and vote on that poll. Facebook won't let you do polls, so you got to comment.
Please
and
use the hashtags.
yeah, please use the hashtags, and then if you want to explain what your view was and why you voted a certain way, that's cool. So we have that. Also, as of last week, we started this after the episode was recorded, so we didn't get a chance to promote it in the episode. But we now have a Spotify playlist, which was something that we were asked for by viewers. So you can go to Spotify and search for Infectious Groove Podcast Companion Songs and follow that playlist in every Sunday or Monday at the latest, usually.
So I'm probably, because I'm not going to stay up till midnight and do it.
Right.
So I'm probably going to do it Sunday afternoon, evening, and delete the old playlist and
Okay. So
upload the
every
new
single
one.
week,
Yeah.
if you listen to this episode and you say things like, oh, I've never heard that Iconopop song, or I don't know Elbow, or whatever, all those songs are going to be
Except for ILBTs because
because that's
Spotify's
not
like,
on
nah,
that's not
bro.
on streaming. Yep. So there are going to be times where that's going
Garth
to happen.
Brooks is not on there,
Yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
there's going to be times where we can't include certain songs, certain versions, or whatever, but we're going to do, it's a big leap in the right direction. So then the other thing, we've been kind of hinting at some stuff coming. We have a full-blown Infectious Groove Podcast website coming your way. It is not launched yet, but it will be soon. And from my understanding, it's going to be pretty much a one-stop shop for everything
Yep.
Infectious Groove Podcast.
Yeah, anything you need to know or need to know about us, want to listen to us, do anything regarding us, we'll be right there.
We have merch and all that stuff. So that's going to be pretty fun and pretty fantastic, in my opinion. Then we have the extra episodes, the bonus episodes. This week is the final one of the first round, which hopefully we won't be in another poll situation with It's Silver Sun's Pickup Carnivas versus Michael Jackson's Thriller. Hopefully Michelle is able to make a decision, but from the following episode on, it will be done by social media as decided on by the listeners.
Social media.
So please, by all means, if you don't like us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, do so now, because things are about to really ramp up where we're going to need even more interaction than we already get. So we really appreciate all of that. So this has been another fun one.
Yes.
I like it.
So fun.
Go listen to the Nixons Sonic Boom.
Yeah, it's a good one.
By all means. So as we always say about this time, without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
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 The Infectious Groove podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Whipple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Opening credits read by Stacey Robinson. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.